Welcome to this yin yoga class for your hips. For this practice, you might like to have some pillows handy. I've got 4 kind of medium pillows here. You might also like a blanket to keep yourself warm during your practice today. Find your spine with the feet planted, the knees bent, pillows kind of within reach. Just off to the side a little here as you stretch those arms away from the body and widen the feet a little and windshield washer the legs side to side. A little movement before we settle in here. We'll start gentle and move into more deep stretches over the course of class. Next time the legs go to the right, keep them there and stay. So be a shorter posture, around a minute or so, knowing that in yin we often stay 3 to 5 minutes. Palms up or palms down, you choose here. And if there's too much work in the inner thigh, a pillow goes between the earth and your thigh. Notice the inseam of that left leg. Inhale here. And exhale, legs return to center. Pause. And lull the legs over toward the left. Again, pillow between that thigh and earth, the right thigh and earth, if you'd like. A little less stretch. Final inhale. And exhale to return to center and allow the knees to support one another, to touch. The feet are far apart still, knee mountain. One more breath in. And exhale to heel toe those feet closer together. And then open the knees like a book. So we'll start with stretching the inseams here. So we did internal, now we're looking at external. We can place, if it's too much, pillows on the outsides of the legs as we stay here for at least 3 minutes. Few more rounds of breath here. Final inhale. And exhale to close those knees like a book. Perhaps again, heel toe, those feet wide for a moment. Knees together. And legs parallel like train tracks. You might like a pillow or pillows underneath your pelvis here to deepen this figure four or shoelace. Take that right leg high into the sky, flex through the ankle, roll the leg out and roll it in. Roll it out, roll it in. Press sole of foot toward the sky as you anchor through the pelvis. Next time the big toe angles out, cross that right ankle over the left one and draw the legs in toward you. The more bolsters you have, generally the more you'll feel this. So you look for more intensity, you might actually prop more. We will get to more intense hip stretches, but starting here, knowing you can always come back here. Even though this is yin, maybe a little rock to find an angle you'd like, and then settle in to stillness. Inhale. Exhale, perhaps through the mouth. As you ground that left foot and pause with the legs still crossed. If your pillows are stacked high, you might take one of them out. You could even take both, but maybe try leaving one in to see what this is like first before you decide. Okay. Shift those hips a little bit to the right and allow the legs to lull left. That right foot will plant. So we have the pillow here today. If you don't like the pillow, you remove it and do the exact same thing. The kneecap faces the sky here. Press the right foot into the earth. Notice where in the hip you feel this. Around 3 more breaths. Another wide inhale to the sides of the ribs. And then exhale to draw yourself back to center. Uncross that leg. Perhaps open the knees just for a moment to see what the cobbler is like with the pillow there. And then close the knees, heel toe, the feet wider, knees together. See what this is like with the pillow there, the knee mountain. And then return to center. Take that left leg high into the sky, flex for the ankle, rotate the toes away from you, and then toward middle, away from center, towards center. Exploring how the leg moves in the hip socket. Let's do 2 more. Last time, stay rotated out. That ankle's active as you cross it over that right thigh. Maybe the legs draw in. You need a boost of more pillows. You can stick another pillow underneath your seat. We'll stay here. Maybe that little rock. Almost forgot, I got so comfortable. And then pause at an angle of your choice. Inhale and exhale. Ha. 2 more rounds. Final breath in and exhale. Ha. As you set that right foot down. If you stacked the pillows higher for this posture, remove perhaps one or both if you'd like. Shift the hips a little bit left and the legs exactly as they are can go over toward the right. Kneecap to sky, foot heavies. Another breath in and exhale to find your spine. Keep the legs as they are for a breath or two. And then plant the left foot and then hug knees into chest. Let the low back round. Feet return to the earth and lift the hips just enough to remove that pillow and find the side of your body. And then press yourself up and we'll meet on hands and knees. Pillows close by. Perhaps a little round and arch. And then slide the right leg forward. Shin could be aligned with the hip or blade it on the mat. Our sleeping swan, also called pigeon in our active practice. With or without pillows here, you can press out of the earth and you might lower onto forearms or pillows with some active press through legs, just a little here. Protect the joints. And we'll stay here longer, around 5 minutes or so. So find a sustainable variation of this posture. Maybe that even means pillows underneath that right buttock. Okay. Where can you soften? You might even find if you press a little more out of the legs, that the upper body can be more relaxed. Maybe you move the tongue around the mouth to release tension. You lengthen out the breath. Have it be long and strong. One more breath in and out. As you start to rise, if not, you're on the forearms, rise to hands and pause there. And then tuck the back toes, draw that knee in a little more, so that you can take that right leg back, maybe even long, land on ball of the foot. Pause here or take movement. And then perhaps bend that knee, make some circles with the hip. You haven't already. Reverse directions. And take that right leg out to the side. So it's directly out long to the side. And rotate toward the right here. And then thread that right hand underneath the left one. We won't stay, just a little more movement here. Reach open and return. One more time, open and hand plants. Legs come side by each, back into the tabletop. And slide that left leg forward this time, either thigh in line with shin or that shin in alignment with the wrists. To any degree, right? From 90 inward. And press out of those legs. And in your own time, whenever you choose, you might start to lower down still with some press in the legs to protect the knee. Perhaps again, move the tongue around the teeth and see where you can soften in the upper body. Perhaps as you breathe, you notice any pauses at the top and or bottom of the breath. Long and slow is your breath. Cultivating that still point in between. Another inhale. And exhale to rise onto hands. And tuck the back toes. Glide that back knee in a little so that the left leg can come out and maybe it lengthens. Perhaps some hip circles here. Reverse. And that leg jets out to the side, land the foot, rotate open to the left, and thread that left hand under opposite armpit. Again, reach open and close. 3 more. 2. Last one, reach toward the sky and then land that hand. Slide that leg back in and find your belly. Press the pelvis down. Bend that right knee and clasp or just reach for the ankle. Just a brief little stretch for the front of the leg here. You might feel opening across the hip flexors. Another breath in. And exhale to release. Opposite side. One more breath in. And exhale to let that go. And rock the pelvis on the earth side to side. And then rebend those knees and do the same thing with the shins. Shins go right, shins go left. Notice how this feels in the hips. And you're invited today to take a Savasana on your belly or return to your spine. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. As you center yourself, bring your awareness to the navel center. And then begin to take small movements through the body. If you're on your belly, you might rock the pelvis again. If you're on your back, you might start moving the hands, the feet. If you're on your spine, you might draw the knees into the chest. If you're on your belly, bend the knees. Let the legs drape over to the right either way. Pause. Hips trail to the opposite side or the shins. Let's restart that. Take your legs to the opposite side and pause. Return to center. If on your belly, press into a child's pose. If you are on your back, find one side of the body in a tiny little ball. And from wherever you are, find a seated posture of your choice. Roll the shoulder. And perhaps sweep the head side to side. Or take it all the way around as long as the neck is healthy. You might try that. Reverse the circles. And drop the chin through center. Roll up through the neck. Arms can circle overhead. Hands draw down to the heart. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May you find peace in your life. Satnam. Thank you for joining me for this practice. If you liked this class, check out the Yin playlist, and we'll see you soon.